Utah apparently took a page out of Fahrenheit 451 because they got a long old list of books that they don't want you to be able to read anymore. And ironically, Fahrenheit 451 is probably on that list. But right now, we need to talk about their efforts to ban 13 different authors. Importantly, 12 of whom are women. Just by coincidence. It is a total weird coincidence that there's a ton of women that they don't want you to know what they wrote. So this edict from Utah came out on Friday, and it's intended to comply with a law that went into effect on July 1st, which says that local education agencies must prioritize, quote, protecting children from the harmful effects of illicit pornography over other considerations. So above all else, protect them from the porns over other considerations, like stop them from being gunned down with AR-15s. Maybe we'll get to that someday, but we want to start with the most important thing, which is someone writing a paragraph about masturbation or something. That is the true threat to our young people. And so this takes any choice off the table for local school staff. They don't get to consider whether the books have educational merits or historic merits or artistic merits. Under the ban, any book that has a description of sex or masturbation is considered banned under the new rule, and it must be removed. A local education agency must notify the state board of education when it removes a book. And when a book is removed by 3 school districts or by 2 school districts and 5 charter schools, it must be removed across the state. So if you're a librarian, your job now is not to inspire a lifelong love of reading in kids or to educate them or inspire their curiosity. No, you are a censor, okay? You're supposed to just go through all the books, looking for references to wee-wees and hoo-has, and then you burn that book. Well, first of all, you report it to the government because government spreadsheets where naughty art is listed are a great thing, not dark at all. And then you can burn it, okay? And you do that, and then they'll do it over there, and they'll do it over there. And if enough people find enough books, then it's banned across the whole state, and nobody gets to read it anymore. And some of these books, by the way, are quite popular. So you have Sarah J. Maas's A Court of Thorn and Roses series, which I briefly started, wildly popular books, as well as one of her books from her series, Throne of Glass. These books have spicy material, and it is important that the kids not read it. Because if we can only stop them from reading prose about masturbation, then they'll never know what sex is, because there's no other way that they can get access to it. Other books banned are Forever by Judy Blume. They are literally banning Judy Blume, these monsters. A graphic novel called Blankets, Tilt by Ellen Hopkins, which centers 3 teenagers navigating teen pregnancy. Teen pregnancy is not a thing that kids need to read about because surely they will never be faced with it, so they don't need to be prepared emotionally or psychologically. And by the way, my favorite part. So you have a state, right-wing state, red state, that is banning a bunch of books because they hate art. You don't get to read these books anymore. 12 of the 13 authors are women. So women in particular don't get to have their art be read. You don't get to learn about it. And I love that one of the authors is Margaret Atwood. Literally, the Handmaid's Tale author is one of the people among the big group of women whose art won't be allowed to be read anymore thanks to the regime. I just love that so much. By the way, you can see the ever expanding spreadsheet of books that kids don't get to read anymore. Obviously, by the way, as Agnostic Sister points out and Studbud, the Bible would be banned because it does have depictions of sex. We'll see if that's how it works in practice, but so many of the books obviously deal with teenage sexuality. And here's the thing about that. You can stop the kids from reading books about sex. What you can't stop is the sex. What you can do is make it so that when they have sex, they don't know anything about it. And they don't know about STIs and they don't know about pregnancy. You can create ignorance. The right has always been very skilled at creating an ignorant population, but that doesn't help them. And in the meantime, by the way, they can't read the book, but they can go on the internet and they can watch videos. Oh boy, have you seen these videos? Have you seen what's available on the internet? There's wild stuff out there and it's freely available. Every one of these kids has a phone that can see it at a moment's notice. But don't worry about that. Don't worry about the guns. Stop them from reading depictions of fairies having sex or whatever. That's what the government needs to be doing. Members make a difference here at TYT. You help make the show happen, and we see you in the chat with your loyalty badge. Click the join button to become a member today.